stretch. So shake the arm out, make sure that it's placed well next to the body. We're going to face the arm so that we can give the arm an ABCBA pattern. Stretch, palm press, work the energy line. Palm, stretch like we did the legs. So outside and then to the inside. So we have one energy line on the outside of the arm, and it's going to run from the back of the wrist straight through the radius and the ulna up towards the elbow. So I'm on the epicondyles coming through some tissue there, like our brachioradialis. And then we're coming around to work up the edge of the tricep that works right up into the back of the shoulder attachment points where deltoid, tricep, and your teres muscles all come together. Feels really good back there to get up that high, and then you bring it on back down. We'll thumb that line, okay? The inside line, just to state, and I'll keep working on it later, is then going to divide the inner arm right in half. So between the ulnus and the radius, and you feel the interosseous membrane between the two, and you come up to the inner elbow epicondyle, working your way up through, you see the bicep. So, and you stay in front of it, on top of it, you'll feel the very soft area where the veins, the arteries, and the nerves all run. Brachial plexus comes out of the armpit, so we're staying up on top of it where you're like on the deltoid and the shoulder, working up towards the pec minor and pec muscle, subclavian. Feels really nice to get all the way up there because these energy lines will come through. So all the way out and down. Now I did say there's going to be some additional branches. The forearms work a lot, our flexors, so there are these two outer lines that we'll be working when we get to the inside as well. So, all right, our ABCBA pattern. I'm going to cup the wrist, hands, fingers are flat, and then I stretch the arm bones and out over the hand. Here we're going to take the heel of our hand and cup into and over that acromion process, the shoulder bone, a little bit into the pec minor, and out at a diagonal over the deltoid muscle. We're going to stretch that way. So butterfly stretch. We allow them to take a couple breaths. We're going to start having some kitty assists, as we did earlier today. I'm in another diamond stance, and I'm palming up the client's arm, bringing it back down. You can see I have to turn to the side. And the arms, they're so much smaller, it's going to take us a lot less time to go through this here. So I am thumb pressing my way up towards the elbow epicondyle. I'm bringing it back towards the tricep. And I see some people stay like this, but you can also turn into your fingers. And I'm using my fingers here, but I'm supporting the front side of the arm just so that I can give a little bit more pressure. I also am using my self elbow to knee for a lever so that I can use my bicep to lift for that kind of pressure, and then take my core out. Because if I'm not leaning into myself, I have to use a lot more core in my back to make this happen. So I like to take the easy way out and support myself at times because we have a lot of work to do. So bringing it back down, around, and all the way out. Palming. And that stretch. Usually when I'm into the ABCBA, that stretch, I'm transitioning myself to be more organically in place for the next pose. So as you become more familiar with how things are moving, you'll be able to do the same. So also paying attention to where I'm at is a very important thing for the whole of your practice. So we already went over the lines, and I can kind of just draw and see where I'm supposed to go, maybe those two outer lines. But then we're going to stretch, so the shoulder is the same, wrist the same, and we're just going to lean in, a little bit back and forth, stretch and open that up, palm it out. Okay. And whether or not I take C-shaped little hands here to the outside edges of these energy lines of the forearm. You can feel along the ulna edge and the radial edge there, pinching on yourself, that there is a, so coming to the inside of the arm, we're facing the arm here, diamond stance, we'll be able to stretch, palm, and do that interior line that we're talking about in the outer two branches, like I said. So cupping the wrist, heel of the hand, protecting with an additional pillow. I'm going to place the heel of my hand just into the pec minor, and then coming up, maybe tabletop for myself, we give a stretch for a couple of breaths, and then we come down for palming all the way up. You're going to be a little bit more gentle to the interior of the bicep. The forearm can accept quite a bit of weight a lot of times, but be delicate to start. So C-shaped hands, I can stay right here, kind of walk my way up the edges of the forearm, up over the elbow, the olecranon, or I'm sorry, the epicondyles, and then we're going to work our way back down. So again, that's something that you can feel on yourself, the edges of your radius, your ulna, and then to the interior line. Again, it's going through the interosseous membrane between the bones, up over the elbow, to the bicep, and gently in front of the veins, the nerves, and the arteries. And I came up to the acromion process where the pec minor, pec major come across with the deltoid, and I'm going to work my way back down. Gently through the interior of the elbow there, it's a little sensitive. So palming my way out, up into the arm, bringing it back down. We'll stretch that out.